So somewhere on Reddit, right now, your exact customer is explaining why they didn't buy from a brand like yours. They wrote down the objection, they wrote down the fear, and they even wrote down the words that would have changed their mind. And most marketers will never read any of it because it's buried across a few hundred threads. So let me show you how I make Claude read all of it for me. Most ad copy fails for one boring reason, by the way. It gets written from the inside. You know your product way too well, so you end up describing features while your customer is lying awake, worried about something completely different. And Reddit fixes that because nobody performs on Reddit. People complain, they compare things, they ask the embarrassing questions, all under fake names, which is exactly the raw material good ads are made from. And when you're in there, 3 kinds of comments are worth grabbing. First, the complaints, because every complaint that keeps repeating is an objection your ad can answer before anyone even asks it. Then the recommendations, because the words people use to convince each other are honestly better than anything a copywriter comes up with. And then the questions, because whatever gets asked every single week is what your landing page should answer in its first line. Now, doing this by hand means losing a weekend to scrolling. So I don't do that. I open Claude with @0 connected, I tell it my niche, and it goes off and searches Reddit, opens the strongest threads, pulls in the comments, drops the junk, and ranks what real people keep repeating. And a few minutes later, I'm sitting there reading customer language sorted by how often it shows up, with a link back to every thread it came from. And then the language basically becomes the campaign on its own. The complaint that repeats the most becomes the hook of the next ad. The exact phrases people use become the headlines, because your customer will always click faster on their own words than on yours. And the objections become the FAQ that quietly removes the last excuse not to buy. By then, the hard part is done. You're just arranging quotes. So that's the whole loop, and every step of it comes with receipts you can check. If you want to see the same system running on Etsy reviews, or Steam reviews, or YouTube comments, those videos are already on the channel. See you in the next one.